Monty's party? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, wait, you know Monty? She goes, that was my boyfriend. Well, my ex. She's like, but that was my boyfriend. And I was like, you were there? She goes, yes, girl, I was there. And I was like, I was there. She's like, you were not there. I was like, I was there. She goes, where were you at? I was like, where were you at? And she goes, please don't tell me we were at the same party. We didn't see each other. And I was like, yeah, please don't. And I'm on that new vibration. I'm building my own foundation. Oh, baby, you won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul. Hey guys, what is up? It's your favorite Storytime YouTuber, your girl Mariah, coming back at you guys with another story time. This story time is going to be about the time that I was hairs away from kissing my friend's baby daddy. So, if you guys want to know the tea about it, then just keep on watching. A few things before I get started, because y'all know I got to give y'all the backstory. The backstory is I am tired. But shout out to my nephew, girl, because my nephew graduated. Class of 2024, gang. Nah, but for real though, like, I am so proud of my nephew. He was being a little mischievous and getting into trouble, rustling and tussling around in places he wasn't supposed to be. But he managed to do his credit recovery, girl. He managed to go to school. He managed to get it done. And he walked that stage this weekend. So I don't know when I'm gonna have the story up, because y'all know it takes me a minute. It takes me a minute to get my stories up, so I'm so sorry about it. By the time y'all are watching this, this is probably gonna be like 2 or 3 weekends to go, maybe. June 1st, my nephew graduated, and I am so proud of him. He's always gonna be my baby, that little baby that I used to change his diapers while my sister was getting ready for school, and I used to feed him his little titi. Y'all, it was very emotional for me because I felt like my son was graduating. I was like, yo, my baby is walking that stage right there. And I didn't want to cry because I don't want to mess up my makeup and stuff, but I real life was holding back my tears. Like, yo, that's my baby right there walking that stage. I say all that to say, we went to the graduation. We went to the party hardy afterwards. And we played some games, and I got a little tipsy, and I was with my girls and my girl's dad. By the time he brought us home and walked us inside and told us goodnight and all that, y'all, I didn't get in my bed till like 2 in the morning. Then, because your girl loved her shmoney's, my dumbass had to be up early because like I had to go to the gym and then I had to go to work. So I'm tired. Now we're just getting into a little life update. After work, I was there all day. Got off at 5:30 because we had some last mofos that walked in right before we were about to close, and they held us up to about like 5:30. Then I had to go donate plasma afterwards because your girl liked her shmoney's. By the time I got there, it was like 5:40. Because they messed me up and they stuck me wrong, my donation took 2 hours, girl. I didn't leave there till like 7:40. Then I was hungry. Not only am I tired, but I'm also hungry. So I stop at Panda Express. I'm in the drive-thru getting ready to pay. I was like, well, let me look for my card. I thought I left it in my purse from last night. So then I get to the traffic light and I'm still like rummaging through my backpack and stuff looking for my card, and I find it. So I didn't even get to get my food. So I get home and all I want to do is just eat my little sandwich that I made me with some chips. I know when you're like, I just need a minute. And like you end up scrolling on TikTok for a few hours. That was me. It was like 10 o'clock at night and I'm like, oh my gosh, I am beyond tired and I've yet to film this story time. If I'm tripping up over my words, if I seem or look tired, it's because I'm tired, okay? And I'm so sorry about it, but we gotta get it done. This story took place around my junior year of high school. If you haven't watched it, I will link it down below for you to catch up on the backstory of why I was with my friend. But during this time, I was living with my friend. Now, another thing I want to apologize for. I do not remember certain details or names of the stories that I've already shared here on my channel. Meaning, like if I gave somebody a name, 70% chance I don't remember that name. Too many people for me to keep up with. I probably should be writing this down, but I don't. I think I named her Andrea. Her family, I definitely don't remember. I went to live with my friend Andrea around my junior year. There was another girl, I'm gonna briefly introduce her in the story. She doesn't have a big role here in the story, but I wanna introduce her, that way I can reference back to this story when I do talk about her. If you guys want the juicy tea on this girl, this stupid girl, y'all comment down below and let me know if y'all want me to make that video sometime soon before I was actually planning it. So like if you want it my next video, do y'all want it like soon after my next video? There's this girl, we're gonna name her Gretchen. The reason why we're gonna name her Gretchen is because she was a mean girl in middle school. I remember all the mean girls. Some of y'all mean girls. Some of y'all mean girls, I let it slide because you want here to support me now and we done grown up. But I remember in middle school and I didn't forget, y'all was on that track calling me fat girl, making fun of my legs. But Gretchen was damn sure one of them. Gretchen, I know her story now because I lived with Andrea and Andrea told me. But before I moved in with Andrea, I didn't really know her story. I only knew of her story because of like hearsay, he said, she said at school, just like rumors and stuff. But Gretchen was always with Andrea. If you guys remember from that story, I mentioned the fact that Andrea and her family were very religious. They were always going to church. They was about the Lord, okay? So Gretchen, while she was living with Andrea, because they were always inseparable, the two were always together at school. And the few times that I did go to La Iglesia, I would see Andrea at church with Gretchen. Not all the time, but more often than not. So it made sense that they were living together. Plus, Gretchen was like really good friends with Andrea's family. So it makes sense, like they live together, they roll up together, they leave together, they're like sitting together. When I go to live with Andrea, the plan was to move in with Andrea at church. By that, I mean, there was a Christmas program around the time that I moved in with her. It wasn't like on Christmas, but it was late November, early December. It was basically like a play, and there were the youth and like, you know, members of the church. They had skits, and the program didn't have anything to do with the story of Christmas. It had more so to do with coming to Christ and like building a relationship with God and like how God can turn your life around. The plan was for me to go to church this day to the program because that's when her mom was gonna be off of work and she was gonna be at the event. I was gonna bring my stuff to church, put it in her mom's car, load it up, and then after that event, that's when I was gonna tell my family bye, and I was gonna leave with her and then stay with her until things got cleared up from my home situation. Y'all want details of that, y'all go check out that video down below. Going to this Christmas event, Gretchen obviously wasn't there. Gretchen was not going to my school anymore. It was clear as day that Gretchen moved. Where she moved, I didn't know, okay? I didn't know yet, but I didn't know, she wasn't in the picture. When I get there to the event, I tell everybody hello. I'm kind of reintroduced to Andrea's family. I already knew them, I seen them at church before, but this is Mariah. She's gonna be living with us. This is Mariah, she's gonna be staying with us. That kind of introduction. Y'all know when you're in high school, you are a little hornet bumblebee. And that's what I was, okay? I'm so sorry, Lord forgive me. When I walked into church this day, I seen some fine specimens. I know I'm supposed to be here for Jesus, but I'm thinking the most unholiest things right now. And it didn't help the fact that during this time, I listened to a lot of Trey songs, girl. Like, I was religiously playing Trey songs throughout my school days and just visualizing Mr. Songs doing things that I shouldn't have been visualizing, girl. But when I walked in, there was one of the members of the church acting out in one of the skits. And when I saw him, I was just like honed in on him and I was like, this man is fine. I was watching that skit, girl, but he definitely looked like a Trey Songz kind of guy. We're gonna name him Trey. He's not that relevant, but I'm just painting a picture for you guys, so stick with me. Trey and Andrea is in this little skit. I forgot what I named her sister, but like her sister, her siblings, her friends, choir members, like they're all doing this like this skit. They're dancing and they're doing, I don't know. So when they turn the lights back on, I look over in the little production booths where they do the cue to music, and I see this other fine man. And y'all, to me, he looked a lot like Mr. Corey Joseph. I was like, y'all, my eyes this night, and Lord forgive me again, but it was going like this. Like, I just couldn't stop looking back and forth. Like, I was looking at Corey and I was looking at Trey, and I was like, man, there's some fine men in here. We're doing our get together afterwards. We're going to the after party, and the after party ends up being at IHOP. So we all get into our clown cars. Everybody rolls in real deep to the IHOP down the street. They put some tables together. We got this big party and we ate in IHOP. I just could not stop looking at Corey. I just could not stop looking at Mr. Trey Songz. And I was like, man, like I can't focus. I can't eat my pancakes. I just couldn't stop thinking, cause you're a little hornet bumblebee, you know? Like, be thinking the most nastiest things when you're a teenager. We leave IHOP, we go to Andrea's house. Me and Andrea are getting ready for bed. We're changing into our pajamas, girl, and we're getting our hair up in a bun and we're taking our makeup off and stuff. I bring up the fact that I thought Corey was really cute. And I was like, he is so fine. Turns out Trey is actually trying to make a music career. It's like so ironic that he looked like Trey Songz, but he was like networking with local musicians and music producers and stuff. Well, Andrea's brother-in-law, we're gonna name him Travis. I know that's not what I named him in the story. I told y'all, I'm sorry, I can't remember everybody's name. Travis is good with music production. He was like always working on beats and stuff, so he knew like people from that scene. I guess that's how he met Trey. He was bringing Trey to church. Trey agreed to participate in this program, basically why he was there. I bring up Corey and she goes, and Corey, you know he actually plays for the Spurs, right? And I thought he looked like a basketball player, but I didn't want to put no assumptions on nobody, but he was very tall, lengthy, just big wingspan. First I didn't believe her, but she's like, no, like he is. Like, I'll have Travis show you. And when she confirmed it, Travis showed us Corey's Instagram, and it was pictures of him, not a starter and not a rookie. Like, I feel like she told me he was part of like a pre-summer league or something affiliated with the Spurs. And she said that this year he had just got drafted with the Spurs and he was always busy with the Spurs. Travis knew him from hooping. I introduced these men because I'm trying to paint the picture that Travis knows a lot of people on our side of town. Travis knows so many people from church, from networking, from events, hooping. He would go and hoop so much that he knew some of the kids that we went to school with. Andrea, when I lived with her, she was always up Kiara, her older sister's booty. Anything, any plans, any errands, any moves Kiara and Travis were gonna be making, me and Andrea were gonna be a part of that. Like, we was their children, dragging us along everywhere. We was all up in the business. He asked us, what are the moves for New Year's? What are we doing for New Year's? So Travis knew some guy who hooped with talking about how they're having a New Year's party. Travis invites Trey and Corey, of course, all his friends and the cool people from church. Now, we're gonna go into school. Now, I'm gonna introduce this girl from school. I would like to think, in my mind, in my opinion, she was probably one of the most popular girls, other than my friend from the video I mentioned how she passed away. Other than her, rest in peace, she was also another one of the most really pretty girls in school. Not just in my opinion, but I've heard from my fellow classmates that she would favor, to a lot of people, Paula Patton. If you don't know who Paula Patton is, she's been in a lot of movies. She's very sexy, she's beautiful, she's flawless, and she has this like raspy, like sexy voice.
Can't leave this party, it just got started.
I have to. One of the volunteers at the homeless shelter I help at it just called in sick, so it's urgent.
And so did this girl. What the heck? Let's just name her Paula. I ended up having her from my Spanish class. She actually sat right behind me. Our Spanish teacher would do this thing where she would be like, okay, get in your pairs. But when she would do it, she would go like this or like this, horizontal or diagonal. When she went like this, it means like 2, 2, 2. And she went like this, it meant 2, 2, 2. But she would switch it up so you weren't always working with the same person. My partner this way was some white girl named Emily. I don't know who she was. I never met her a day in my life. I don't know if she was like a sophomore. This way it was my friend DJ. I wouldn't say DJ was my friend, more of like a really good acquaintance. I only say that because I've known DJ since elementary, and in 5th grade, we had 2 classes together, and we, for some reason, always had to sit next to each other and always had to be partners. DJ was always friends with the guys that were little assholes and bullies, and they would bully me. But DJ never participated in that when it came to me. And then when he would talk to me, he was always really sweet. He would definitely talk some shit, girl. Definitely talking his mess if you came for him. I wouldn't say he was like purposely mean to me or anything. If we had to work together, he never made me feel like, ew, like I don't want to be next to you. He was always polite, always sweet. The first time I met Paula, let me describe her to you. Not only is she gorgeous, like she has a beautiful body. She wasn't like too tall. She was like a good height. She was probably like 5'6", 5'5", but her body was like slim thick. Like she had a really nice body. She dressed so nice, name brand stuff. She dressed classy. She kept it very mature and classy. Not too old lady. She was ahead of her time when it came to fashion. Let me just say that. She was one of those girls like Cassie. You know, like Cassie doesn't really need makeup. She's just kind of flawless how she is. This is how Paula was. Because I didn't know who she was, I automatically assumed that she was a bitch. I just assumed that because she was, in my eyes, like competition for me. Didn't have money to like be put together like that. Okay, Miss Thing, I wasn't all that. I did put a lot of effort into my hair and my makeup. I was threatened because I was like, dang, like how can I compete with that back there when she got name brand and no sé qué, YSL? Like, I don't wear no damn YSL, I'm wearing my mark. Like, I just couldn't. I thought she was a bad. I was like, no, I don't want to talk to her. She's my competition. But one day, Emily wasn't there. We had to be partners this way. I was like, Miss, my partner's not here. And she's like, well, Paula's partner isn't here either. So you and Paula are just gonna have to be partners. And I was like, fine. I didn't really have an issue with Paula. I just was intimidated by her. I turned my desk around. We hit it off, girl. She's complimenting me left and right. And I started to see she's not only beautiful on the outside, but she's absolutely sweet and beautiful on the inside. Super sweet, complimenting me, telling me I'm beautiful. She's like, girl, you are so pretty. You have such pretty hair. Like, I love how you do your makeup. And I'm like, yo, me? Like, no. And she's like, yes, Mariah, you are gorgeous. We exchanged phone numbers to a point where, like, if we're gonna be absent or whatever reason she's gonna be late, like, we kind of have each other's back. One gets up to get our journal, we're getting the other one's journal. Like, we start getting super close to where the teacher just actually just starts letting us just be partners because we're always talking. Paula starts opening up to me about her personal life. She doesn't tell me enough details about this guy to where I know his name. I don't even know what he looks like, okay? But just in the small little window, the 15 extra minutes that we get, she's sharing with me how he gets on her nerves and they're on and off and she really loves him and like all this other stuff. And one day she starts telling me that she's interested in DJ. And of course, because all the guys in my class, they're like sitting in the row next to her and she can like drop her bobby pin and they're like, oh, here you go, miss. Like just like rushing and like pick it up. I drop my pen and they're like, you better pick that shit up yourself. Brought up DJ. She's like, you know DJ? And I'm like, yeah, girl, I know him. I basically grew up around the corner from him. We went to the same elementary school. We've been partners to this day for some reason or another. Like, I know DJ. What about him? All those people you just don't see like that. They're just around. That's what DJ was for me. Like a brother. Why are you asking about DJ? Like, what business you got with DJ? Definitely you're out of his league. What the hell? I don't know, you're just kind of cute, like nerdy, huh? And I'm like, I guess I can kind of see it, but like, Paula, for real? She's like, yeah, I just don't want another guy like the one I'm always dating. Like, I don't want somebody like that. Like, I just want somebody I know, like, it's gonna be about me. She was really ahead of her time, like physically, mentally. She's like, so would you talk to him for me? And I'm like, you want for me to talk to DJ for you? Why don't you just talk to him yourself? He clearly wants you. Like, what do you need my help for? One thing leads to another, and her and DJ exchange phone numbers, and DJ is excited, girl. He's off the wall. He is off his rocker in a good way. He's like, yes, I bagged me a pot patent, bitch. Y'all better move. Going back to Andrea. Travis gets wind of there being a New Year's party from one of the guys that he hoops with. Who's this guy? We have no idea. Go to this New Year's party that's in this really nice neighborhood on the other side of the area that I live in. I've described this area to you guys many times. It's split. There's one school where I grew up and I went to. On the other side, it's the other school. This neighborhood was on the side, the bougie side with the other school. Go in this neighborhood, and it's this big 2-story house. They got a nice Jaguar in the driveway, a big old pickup truck. You can tell these people, they got some much money. The lights are off, nice like reflector lights going off at the front, like projector lights. So you could tell there's people in the backyard, music going, and like a big TV, rocking New Year's Eve playing in the living room. You could hear it, you can see it. You could tell these people are getting lit in this house. We all roll up to this house and we're in Travis's truck, and Kiara, Andrea's older sister, Travis's wife, was like, whose house is this? And Travis goes, oh, it's my friend. I hoop with him. His name is Monty. Just in the rearview mirror, he's like, Mariah, Andrea, y'all actually should know Monty. And so we're like, I was like, I don't know no Monty. And she goes, Monty. Now, Andrea was friends with the athletes. Andrea knew more of the cool people than me. Andrea was always in the girls' basketball locker room. Like, she was in it cool with some female basketball players, okay? So because she knew them, she also knew the male basketball players. She goes, oh wait, I think I know Monty. Does he play for our school? Like, he's on varsity basketball? And he's like, yeah, I play with him. Oh, he's like, this is his house. He has a twin brother. That's his parents' house. She's like, how do you know Monty? Like, why are you playing with Monty? Like, we're all in high school and stuff. He's like, well, actually, they have an older brother. He hoops with us, and he just brings them along. But that's who it was, and I didn't want to say that. You guys don't know who it is, but y'all might know Monty. That's why I said Monty. Get out of the car. We meet Monty's parents. So we're all being polite. We tell the grown-ups hi. Monty's parents got their neighbors there. Monty's parents got their people there. Monty's parents got Monty and his brother's friends. Like, everybody's there. It's like a family kickback. Tell these people in the backyard, they got a pool. They got lights in their pool. The lights from the pool are coming in from the back house windows. Like, it looks like Project X. Like, something off of Project X, girl. Like, that's what it's giving. I'm like, dang, this house is real nice. They got food. And that's what I was there for. I wanted the food. I was hungry. Then they have their punch, their spike punch. I was always taught, like, when you go to a friend's house, whoever you're there for, whoever invited you, your only one job is to make sure, well, you got two. One of the things is you don't ask for nothing. My mom embedded in my head, when you go to someone else's house, you don't ask for nothing. You don't ask for water, you don't ask for food, you don't ask for this, you don't ask for that. You sit there and you wait until they offer you, because they're supposed to be offering this. So I didn't ask for nothing. And then my mom's also said, whoever invites you, you stay with them. Wherever they go, unless they tell you to, like, stay right there, I'll be right back, you go with them, because you're there for them. You're not there for everyone else. That's how it was with me and Andrea. Like, I was going with her everywhere. So I'm like following her like around like a little puppy in this house. Cause like, honestly though, like, what am I supposed to do? These are not my people. I don't know these church people like that. Like, let's be honest. I don't know these people from school like that. So the only person I know is Andrea. It makes sense that I'm gonna be following Andrea around. She tells me, hey, let's go outside. Travis and Kira and all of them are outside. All the cool people from church, they're all outside. Corey and Trey, they're all outside, and they're outside with the twins, and everybody's apparently outside smoking. Go outside, and I'm sipping on my spike punch and stuff, and I'm there shivering, cold, just standing out there, and everyone's passing whatever around. I don't know if it's rifa, I don't know what it is, but a cigarette, I don't know what it is, but they're passing something around, right? I'm not participating in it because I'm like, I don't smoke, whatever. Everybody kind of starts trickling, like going inside. I'm still standing out there, and we're all standing right in front of their garage, like their garage door facing the street. We're like in between the garage and their cars. So they're all there like shivering and like smoking and stuff. And I'm starting to feel tipsy, so I don't even notice that like, I'm starting to be there by myself. Me and Andrea, Monty, his brother, some of the cool people from church, but like Corey, Andrea's, you know, siblings, they're all inside. I hear Kiera come outside and call Andrea inside. So she's like, Andrea, come here real quick. So Andrea starts walking to the front door, and I, of course, go to follow her. And this is where I start to notice that she's starting to get annoyed of me, like being everywhere around her. I mentioned this in that video, y'all go watch it. She turns around, she goes, stay here, I'll be right back. And I was like, I caught wind of it, and I was like, leaves me alone with Monty, because before I knew it, everyone else, even the cool church people, went inside. And I looked up at some point, and I'm standing in front of Monty. Monty is smoking on a Black and Mild, and I'm just kind of like looking up, like side-eyeing Monty, like this is awkward, like, okay. She told me not to go inside, and I think that he didn't want to leave me out there by myself. He's like smoking his thing or whatever. I'm like sipping on my drink, and he's like, so I'm Monty. And I'm like, I'm Mariah. He goes, he asked what school I go to. He was like, you go there, right? And I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, I've seen you there before. And I was like, you have? And he goes, mm-hmm. He was like, I've seen you there. He's like, you're friends with Andrea, right? And I was like, mm-hmm. He goes, I've never seen you with Andrea. I can only assume that because you're here with her and you know her. He was like, but I've never seen you around school with Andrea. And I was like, I've never seen you, and I'm sorry, like, I don't know. He's like, you don't know who I am? And I was like, he goes, I'm on varsity basketball. Like, I play basketball. And I was just like, I'm sorry, I don't. He was like, you don't play any sports? And I was like, no. And the whole time, he's just like blowing this puff of smoke in my face. Fine boy. But he was just like blowing smoke, and I'm like, y'all know I was sick of my daddy's smoke. It's just not it for me. And I was like, It was like, well, how did you know about my party? Like, what brought y'all here? And I was like, oh, because of Travis. He was like, oh, that's right. He was like, you want to hit this? And so he's, trying to pass me the Black and Mild. And I was like, he was like, oh, you don't smoke. In my head, I'm going back, like, I've only smoked with Linda. If y'all are interested in that video, I'll link it down below too. It's one of my first videos. But I was like, I've only smoked with her. I've never really been like a heavy drug person, People be like, oh, that's not drugs. Like, it's a substance. Like, you put it in your body. Like, I've never really been about that. And I wanted to seem cool, He was peer pressuring me. So I took it and I did a few little puffs on it or whatever, and I gave it back. And when I passed it back to him, he grabbed my wrist. Like, he went like this, and he pulled me in, and I had my drink or whatever. And when I went like that, I looked at him, he was like, man, you got some nice lips. And I was like, y'all, I was about ready to drop my chones around my ankles, girl. Because I was that much of a hornet honeybee. You need to stop looking at me like that, boy, because you don't even know. I put this thing in a heartbeat. And he was just like, would it be bad if I wanted to kiss you right now? And I was like, you don't even know me. He's like, I know that you're really pretty. And I was like, of course, flattering me, because I didn't have good self-esteem in high school. So I was just like, you think I'm pretty? He was like, you're gorgeous. And I'm like, I was like, yeah. And he's just like, come on. He's like, give me a kiss. And so I just kind of laughed or whatever. And when I laughed, he did like this, and he turned my head. And when he turned my head, we start leaning in. Hairs, my girl, hairs away from about to So when we start leaning in, we heard the front door close, and out walks Andrea. And Andrea's like, hey, Mariah. I kind of lean back. I know I look like an HOE at that point. I know I was giving Ebony from the Players Club. And she was like, Mariah. And so I looked, and she goes, come inside. Kiara's asking for you. And I was like, okay. And I just walked over, and he just took his Black and Mild, and he just turned the other way. He kind of laughed, and he just kept smoking. I could not stop thinking about that man the whole rest of the night, because I was like, he is too fine. He was a cutie, okay? He looked like, I would say in a way, he kind of looks like Andre Roberson's little brother. It wasn't him. I swear to y'all, it wasn't him. But he looked like that kind of soft, like baby face, light skin, tall. He was really handsome. I just could not get him off my mind. I was like losing my marbles over him. I was like, oh my gosh, like, because I didn't have a boyfriend. I didn't have a boyfriend in high school. I didn't get no kind of play, no kind of action like that, okay? I was about ready to bust it wide open. So I was like, I could not stop thinking about him. Like, he liked me, he called me pretty. He said I had beautiful lips. He was really like gassing me up. Christmas break is over and we go back to school. And Paula's actually not there, but I had to be partners with DJ. And I remember DJ filling me in about how Paula's really been hitting him up. He's like, I really feel like Paula's like into me. He's feeling himself. And I was just like, chill, player. Paula really ain't trying to holler. He was just like, no, like, let me show you. And so he's like, look, she's texting me right now. She's not here, but like, she's texting me. And so in my head, I was like, now look. Paula mentioned to me before, she was on and off with this guy she was talking to. I know DJ was my friend, but I could tell he was getting feelings for her. So I was like, I hope she's not like messing with him. But the next day comes, she starts, you know, filling me in on her relationship status. And I told her, I was like, what's up with you and DJ? He really likes you, Paula. And she's like, oh girl, she's like, does he? And I was like, yes. And she goes, yeah, I feel bad now. She's like, I just kind of been flirting with him because I'm like on the rebound. And I'm like, that's kind of messed up, Paula. What do you mean? I was like, a rebound? What do you mean? And she goes, yeah, so I kind of broke it off with my boyfriend. And I was like, why? She's like, I'd rather not get into it. She's like, so what about you? How was your Christmas break? Like, what did you do? Like, did you go to a New Year's party? Or did you go to like a Christmas party? Did you do like gift exchanges and stuff? And she was really like wondering what I did. So I was like, oh yeah, I went to this party. It was in this neighborhood. I was like, and you know, I was there. It was like in that two-story house. I don't know whose party it was. And she was like, I went to a New Year's party and it was at a house in that neighborhood. She's like, do you remember the street? And I was like, no. And she goes, do you remember who was there? I was like, I don't know, somebody from our school. She was like, Monty's party? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, wait, you know Monty? She goes, that was my boyfriend, well, my ex. She's like, but that was my boyfriend. And I was like, you were there? She goes, yes, girl, I was there. And I was like, I was there. She's like, you were not there. I was like, I was there. She goes, where were you at? I was like, where were you at? Please don't tell me we were at the same party, we didn't see each other. And I was like, yeah, please don't. She goes, where were you at? And I was like, everywhere. She's like, how did you know about that party? And I was like, well, Andrea? She goes, oh yeah, you live with Andrea. Paula knew my personal like family situation because we had gotten that close to where I told her like my hardship. She was like, oh yeah, you live with Andrea, I forgot. She's like, oh, I know. She's like, yeah. She's like, I know Andrea. I didn't know Andrea knew, you know, like his family like that. So I had to explain to her like, oh, well, really, her brother-in-law knows his older brother. She's like, oh, I didn't know that he knew Chris. And I was like, Paula, where were you at this party? She goes, oh, we were like chilling outside in the back the whole time. He has a jacuzzi back there and stuff. So we were like sitting back there and chilling. And I was with my friends and like we were drinking and like smoking and stuff in the back. And I was like, wait, so were y'all together or like what happened? She was like, we just broke up like a few days ago. She's like, but yeah, like New Year's, I was there with him. In my head, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. I was like, oh. She was like, we had gotten a disagreement and he disappeared for a little bit and he went to the front to go like smoke with his brothers and stuff. So we had like gotten a little minor argument, but like it was nothing because like we were fine like throughout the whole night. Yeah, I even spent the night there and everything. And I was like, huh, little do you know, homegirl, your little boyfriend was trying to mac on me. I was like, oh, hell no. So mad. My friend's boyfriend is sitting here trying to kiss me while she's in the backyard. I had no idea. I had no idea because I didn't know who he was. She never told me his name. She never showed me what he looked like. And yeah, we went to the same school, but she was a senior. Honestly, I only saw her like passing in the morning if I got there early. And then I only saw her like in Spanish class. I never saw who she hung out with, or if she was taking something to the office and I saw her and I was in the restroom or something, but like other than that, I never saw her relationship. I only knew of her because like previous years seeing her around and stuff. But other than that, I never knew who her boyfriend was. I didn't even know who he was, like in general. So mad that this player almost kissed me. I'm still cool with Paula. I have her on my socials. If the off chance she does post her baby daddy, I'm like, I know Monty. I don't know, but I know they gotta be having like some kind of issue. I'm sure he loves her, but I'm like, no, like he's too handsome, and like they have twins together and stuff, but now's the time. I almost kissed her baby daddy. So sorry, I'm like telling this and I'm like closing my eyes at the same time. I'm so freaking tired. Hope you guys enjoyed the story time. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hello to all my new subscribers. Hope you enjoy it here. I love to have you here. Guys, share my video, like, comment. I thank you for doing it because I know and I trust you guys will do it. I appreciate every single one of you. Hit that notification bell for the next time I post your favorite story times, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.